The amazing thing about brands is they're so far-reaching. They've been around for well over 100 years. In the history of brands, it starts off really with manufacturers. The manufacturer name is the brand name. And of course, manufacturers like Coleman's or Rowntree Fruit Gums, these are all brands that were named after their originators. Then we get a new phase of brand, a brand that's not associated with the manufacturer. Things like Sunlight Soap, one of the biggest brands in the world at that time 100 years ago. Robin Starch. Familiar names already that this new brand connects with. And then you get the made-up name. This is the era of what I would consider to be the O brand. So you get brands like Omo and Paxo and Rinso and Oxo. Even a brand like Smith's Patent Germ Flour. Oh, that doesn't sound so good. They had a competition in 1890 to create a better brand name. And what do they call it? Hovis. So how did these brands promote themselves? Traditionally through posters, campaigns in newspapers and magazines, and this went on for many, many years. Then you get a little bit of radio coming in through things like Radio Luxembourg. But a big moment arrived in the 1950s. Here we have TV commercials arriving in 1955, and wow, did that make a big difference. These were incredibly powerful. They made us really sit up and look, and they were successful in engaging and promoting and selling the brands that we now love so much. But recently, of course, there's been a new dynamic, new technology, and the younger generation are coming and using social networking sites to make their presence felt. You change our brand, we can get a message back to you very quickly. And that's where, of course, the power of nostalgia comes in. In these recessionary times, nostalgia really takes on much more importance. We retrench ourselves sort of back to our youth, to our childhood, when those fond memories began. And we like the constancy and the consistency that those brands have given us. And of course, brands use that as part of their identity. Just think of that Hovis lad pedalling up the hill. We're right with him there, as he distributes his loaves. Or maybe it's the Martians with their Smash campaign. And amongst these, we get a brand like Black Magic, launched in 1933 in a brilliant deco box, which we had for a good 30 years, and then they started to move it on a bit. Introduced a bit of red to the design and so on. But recently, they made perhaps a step too far. A bit of research was saying we want to modernise it. The new generations coming through, we want to make it into a 21st century product. But it was a little bit more than we really wanted, and that traditional box shape was lost, and the contents changed too much. So the power of the public said, we don't like this so much. Please go back to your old-fashioned flavours and box and so on. And yes, they've listened, and now we do have a new box of chocolates like it used to be. But brands are always there. They are part of our lives. We just love them.